What is a fun fact about myself, actually? I honestly don't know. Is it possible not to know this question? Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I honestly cannot believe I actually now have a YouTube channel. First YouTube video, I thought we could do a Q&A. So I left an Instagram poll on my story a few days ago for you guys to ask me as many questions as you like. So we've got quite a few at the ready and we're going to get round to answering all your guys' questions. The first question I've got is, what content are you planning on posting? So I was going to stick to one particular niche to start with. However, I have changed my mind only because I was actually worried of running out of ideas if I only stuck to one particular niche. So the niches I've decided to go with on my YouTube channel is going to be fashion, beauty, and a bit of lifestyle content. So we've just got a variety going on and I'm always sharing new content with you guys. What made you want to start a YouTube channel? So funny enough, I've actually wanted to do YouTube for the longest time, but I've never actually found the courage to actually set up an account and then start filming on here. I don't even know why, to be honest. I think it was just because I was nervous, but as I think about it now, it's literally no different to sharing the chatty content you do on TikTok, other than like sharing it on YouTube. So to be honest, I've actually just wanted to do YouTube for the longest time. So I've just kind of like plucked up courage, came out my comfort zone, and now I just wanted to start sharing my content on here. So yeah. Favourite beauty products. So for a setting mist, I will always go for the L'Oreal Paris 3-second setting mist. I find it keeps my makeup on so well, and literally I've never actually had to top up my makeup for a longest time for how well it keeps my makeup on. If I've got a busy day ahead and you know I don't have time to reapply makeup or just touch it up now and then, just one spray of that and I find it just keeps my makeup on so well. It doesn't even look cakey, which is something I definitely love. So if you guys are looking for a setting mist, definitely give that one a try. Foundations, I have actually got two favourites. I do like the e.l.f. Halo Glow one. I find that gives me a nice glowing base. But if I'm wanting something which is going to be more coverage, then I go for the W7 Legend Foundation in the shade Sand Beige. I always use that one if I know I've got a busy day ahead of me. So like for example, if I'm filming like bachelor content, I don't have time, and I don't really want to anyway, to like, you know, constantly retouch up my makeup. So I use that foundation to give me the best coverage, and it literally lasts me all day. And with the L'Oreal Paris setting spray, those two combos are literally the best ones to use. Who are your biggest YouTube inspirations? That's actually such a good question. So who I like to watch on YouTube is Willow Gate, Georgia Portogallo and Molly May. I find watching their content daily on YouTube actually motivates me to create more content myself. And also like if they're like doing like different ideas, I actually find that inspires me to do something very similar, if that makes sense. So like when I'm feeling a bit slightly unmotivated, I definitely like to watch my YouTube inspirations. So obviously then, you know, it helps me get back on track. What's your Sunday reset routine? So definitely it's going to be hair wash day because, you know, fresh hair, new week. Definitely a full skincare reset and also a face mask. There's nothing more relaxing and calming than that. And also what I'd like to do in the evening too is actually plan ahead content what I want to do in a week. So for example, if I'm like wanting to post loads of pieces of content on Instagram on a particular day, I would plan that ahead just to avoid feeling rushed in that, because there is nothing worse than feeling stressed on a particular day in that week because I don't know what content I want to post. So I find planning ahead actually makes me feel a bit more motivated to post that content. What is your 5-year goal? That's actually such a good question. So my 5-year goal, what I'd like to see happen to myself in 5 years' time is definitely being able to do social media full time. I'm hoping and praying that I am able to do that. Possibly dropping one of my jobs because I'm able to make a stable income on social media. Definitely to achieve more paid collaborations, because paid collaborations is something I'm actually starting out on myself. So I definitely want to see myself get more into that if possible, and just generally also just to be happy and be able to just follow really what I want to do, to be fair. What made you want to be a content creator? So it actually all started when lockdown was about and, you know, COVID, we had to stay inside. I actually would watch my favourite content creators get all these amazing opportunities, what they were getting to do from home. And I was literally thinking, I really want to do something like that. And I was intrigued by it. I really wanted to do it. However, at the time, I didn't know how you could get into something like that. So I just possibly always thought it was just, you know, general luck. I never actually heard of like any agencies or any people who could actually help you get into that sort of thing, if that makes sense. So it has actually been like a dream of mine for a long while. I've actually wanted to do social media for the longest time now. And I mean, if you told me back then that I would actually become a content creator like a few years down the line, I probably wouldn't even believe you, because I never actually thought that I would be sitting here today telling you guys about when I first wanted to be a content creator. I always just thought it was going to be a dream, to be honest. I never actually thought I would get there. What keeps you motivated? So definitely what keeps me motivated is watching my favorite content creators. If I wake up one day and I feel super lazy, super unmotivated, what I do is get onto my favorite content creators page, watch a bunch of their content, and then think, right, I'm going to have a good day. We're going to post this and this and this amount of content. That's what I find definitely helps motivate me to do better with my content and keep my schedule on the go. Also, what I like to do is actually read like those quotes, what sometimes people do on TikTok. They normally appear on the For You page actually. I find like reading a few of them are actually quite helpful too. So that's probably the two things that actually help me keep motivated being a content creator. This question, I actually love it. What is your first collaboration you had? So when I first started social media, I actually got 0 opportunities. Like probably what I would get was like, you know, the fake DM, the fake email, which was really annoying at the time, because you'd actually think, when is an actual genuine brand going to see me and see my content and realise what I can actually do? But it all just started back, I think it was like in 2024 actually. So it wasn't really long ago actually. I was out and about and I actually had a DM come through on my request, and it was from the brand called Ugly Pants, who promote for period underwear. And they obviously just reached out to me saying they loved me, they loved my content, would I be interested in promoting some of their products for them? At the time, I was literally so beyond overwhelmed, thinking, oh my God, this is actually my actual genuine real collaboration. I was literally so pumped. I honestly couldn't wait. Got straight back to them, said that I'd do it and stuff. It was on a gifted basis. I actually received the stuff, and then straight away I was literally posting constant like feed posts, and I don't know, I was just so happy with myself because I actually received my first ever collaboration. You know, the happiness, oh my God, I was just so thrilled. I was just so overwhelmed, and I actually prayed to God that I was actually going to get more opportunities like that, because I actually really enjoyed promoting for a brand, considering it was my first time. What days will be upload days? So at the moment, I haven't actually got a fixed schedule in place for YouTube, only because I've got quite a few collaborations to do at the moment. My priority is to get them out and posted, and then that's when I'm going to sit down and actually think of a schedule which is going to work for me, and then obviously come up with some days to do YouTube. Where do you want to end up with your influencer career? That is actually such a good question. So definitely doing social media full time, hoping and praying again that I am going to be able to do that. Just be financially stable, and hopefully one day, this is something I've actually really wanted to do now that I'm more into doing social media, and that is actually setting up my own business and helping other people become content creators too. So that is definitely where I want to end up in my influencing career. What is a fun fact about yourself most people wouldn't know? What is a fun fact about myself, actually? I honestly don't know. Is it possible not to know this question? I don't know. Probably I would say to become a full-time content creator one day, and hopefully to do YouTube full-time. This is something actually I don't tell most people. Majority of the people who do know me don't actually know that I am an influencer and content creator, only because it actually hasn't, you know, came up in conversations and I've never actually thought to bring it up before. But second of all, I'd probably say definitely I overly stress and I'm too obsessed with trying to get a piece of content exactly how I imagined it to. I will plan hours and hours on edge to make sure this piece of content will turn out exactly how I wanted it to. Like, for example, if there's something which I'm not too sure about or I'm just, you know, absolutely not keen, then I will create that piece of content over and over until I'm happy with a particular scene or just the content in general. So probably that is two funny things actually, I would say, which is fun about myself. And that was your guys' questions for the Q&A. Thank you so much to the people who asked me questions for me to answer. I've really honestly enjoyed creating this first YouTube video. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!
What the dog doing?